Kiddo, it is contract season, which is a very exciting time in wrestling, especially with the existence of AEW.
Oh, yeah.
We just recently found out, I was about to say 3, but there are actually 4 WWE
Ooh.
contracts that recently came up. 2 that are pretty big. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to start off light, which is not saying anything slight on the talent, but we just found out Natalya's contract is expiring and WWE has made an offer to her, but she's kind of hesitant to sign it. Do you think Natalya belongs in WWE? She's been there for a long time, or do you think she would really benefit AEW in that woman's roster?
I think, Kenny, well, I can only think of a question. Put yourself in Natalya's shoes, and what would you think, you know? Like, it's been, what, 15 years? She's been there for, like, ever since the beginning of the early 2000s, or late, right before 2010. When did she debut? It's been a long time. And
Been a long
she's
time.
at the top of her, basically, potential. She's done everything that she could have potentially do, and she never really got that, maybe, respectful treatment, in my opinion. I think they should have given her more, but it's just bad timing. She was there in the Divas era, and her gimmick was to fart. I mean, like, she just got a
Yeah.
bad hand dealt to her. So you could go
Yeah.
to AEW, but then, Kenny, wouldn't you think that she would be another Serena Deeb?
Serena Deeb. I was going to
Ah,
say
there
the
you go. There you
same
go.
thing, Mr. Valentine. But I would put her a step above Serena Deeb because we saw Serena Deeb come in with the Straight Edge Society, but she really didn't ever do anything.
No.
At least Natalya was farting on TV, bro. She did something, right?
Right. It's
But
better than that.
I don't know. I think that's the part you would put her in though, because AEW, of course, has a lot of young talent. They snatch right off of the indies, and they need some help developing. So if they're not getting what they need from Serena Deeb, I think Natalya can be the piece you plug in there. But if she does go over, definitely not any type of main event level talent. You don't need to put any belts on her. Just put her over there to help out the girls if that's what she wants to do.
Or she
But
could do
Natalya's
the
not the only one.
she can do the same thing in
Right.
the WWE too. Backstage, I think with her wealth of knowledge, with the hard dungeon, she's an asset anywhere she
Right.
goes, whether in or outside the ring. So yeah.
You're right, because they could use her down there in NXT. So I think WWE, she's a valuable tool no matter where she goes, whether it's on TV or off of TV. Probably more off of TV than on TV, but I think it
Nowadays.
would be greatly beneficial for WWE to keep her.
Yeah.
So I'm saying Natalya to WWE. What about you?
I'm saying Natalya. I mean, let me think. Yeah. She doesn't have any connections over there at AEW. I don't think so.
No, Bret Hart did introduce the AEW championship.
And they were mad about that, I think so.
They were mad. They locked him down right after.
Man, go there for a year, Natalya. I think she's gonna take a chance. Go there for a little while, just end of her career. So I'm gonna say Natalya to AEW.
Oh, okay. Kiddo with the hot ones today. Next up, we got another talent that I think this is very big because we see how this guy has been positioned for the last few weeks, even before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
The next one is Chad Gable.
Ooh,
They said his contract is coming up, I think, as soon as like next week or
next
I
week
think
is
they said next
crazy.
week.
That
is
wow.
insane. Now, Chad Gable, this is a guy who before WrestleMania, I thought they were going to give the big spot. But just at the last minute, they snatched it from him and gave it to Sami Zayn. So if he made the decision to go to AEW, I would absolutely understand it. Because in NXT, honestly, for me, I think that was prime Chad Gable. Unfortunately, Jason Jordan got hurt and they had to take him out. But American Alpha was a very good tag team. And when he got by himself, he was kind of doing good. And then they put the Shorty G on thing
Oh,
on him.
yeah.
And while he's still good in the ring, I think that really did hurt his character. So I think they kind of ruined this young man's career. So if he wanted to make that decision to go to AEW, I definitely would understand it. But before I make my final decision, Kiddo, what do you think about this? And where do you think Chad Gable should end up?
I think a lot of things about this. The fact that this man post Shorty G is still getting a reaction, getting like you suck chants from the crowd, any type of interaction from them shows how freaking talented he is. And if he was like a little taller, I think this guy was already a world champion. Forget about being an intercontinental champion. But you make a really good point. He lost at WrestleMania. I mean, if you've been following us, I keep talking about that. Like, what the hell was that? That was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make a moment for Chad Gable, and you guys didn't do it. Backlash, he lost. King and Queen of the Ring, he lost. Sure, he doesn't lose cleanly and outright, but he lost. And, like, regardless of what you think, I think there are moments that you have to seize. And It might be a little too late for Chad Gable. Might be. Again, keyword there. Don't kill me in the comments now. But man, I'll go ahead and say my prediction, Kenny, real quick. I don't think he's going to go to AEW. I don't think he should go to AEW right now. In WWE, he needs to win that, championship and do like a Gunter run and then go to the main event if he can. That's what he needs to do. AEW, there's just so many big stars and so many stuff happening there. He might get lost in the shuffle because he's going to have to restart the whole momentum. So while you have this, while people are saying you suck to you right now, like, there's still a way he can climb out of this bad situation. So I do hope that he stays. But it's insane to me, again, that his contract is running out next week. And it makes a lot of sense when I think about it like that. Hey, if this guy is not signing, obviously you're not going to give him the title. But then I asked the question to Chad Gable, what are you doing not signing right now? I mean, that'd be insane. Yeah. If he left to AEW, I would, that'd be the most shocking moment of the year, maybe.
Yeah, I agree. It would be very shocking because whether he's winning or losing, he's always on WWE TV. When he was on SmackDown, he was always on TV. On Raw, he's always on TV. Whether he's in bad spots or not, he's always on. So WWE, I mean, he survived a lot of cuts as well. WWE obviously sees something in him, but for whatever reason, they just don't want to give him that spot for whatever reason. I think it's because he's short. We see them stamp the Shorty G name on him. So it is what it is. But I think I'm going to go the opposite end, kiddo, because Chad Gable in AEW matches with Bryan Danielson, matches with Will Ospreay, matches with Kenny Omega. There's a lot of matches over there for Chad Gable. And if they're not going to put him in the right spots in WWE, he's got to be like MJF, tattoo on a leg, bet on yourself. And I think that's why he hasn't signed a contract yet. I think he's willing to bet on himself if WWE isn't willing to, see what he sees in him. So I'm going to say Chad Gable to AEW.
Man, if he does that Perk Angle run, like when Angle went to TNA, I'm down for it, man. Let's go.
All right, the next one we spoke about in a previous video, but I think it's important to mention here because this is another, it just shows you how big these WWE contracts are that are coming up. And I'm sure we will be hearing more that are coming up pretty soon. I'm talking about Becky Lynch. Her contract comes up tomorrow as we're recording this video, which means Becky Lynch, there's a possibility, whether it's 5%, whether it's 10%, whether it's 95%. Becky Lynch could show up on AEW Dynamite next Wednesday. That's the world we live in right now, kiddo. She's telling WWE, listen, I'm not signing, I'm not going anywhere, but listen, that money talks. And if they come offer her $10 million, Seth Rollins is going to be like, listen, WWE is paying me $5, take it. 1 day a week, just take it. I think Becky Lynch she'd make the jump. What do you think?
Oh, Becky Lynch to AEW. The more I think about it, even after the video we made about her, I feel like she's just working us, and I definitely see her staying in the WWE right now. It just doesn't make sense for her to leave. And everything she did on Monday Night Raw was so on the nose that it feels like the recent AJ Styles segment with the fake retirement stuff. So I just would be, again, very surprised. Speaking of, surprising moments with Chad Gable, this would also be super surprising to see her. But would we see her next Wednesday? Because don't we have like a 90-day no-compete clause for everybody? No?
No, sir. When that contract runs up, if she's fired, she has a 90-day no-complete clause, which they just outlawed. I don't even think they can do that no more.
Okay.
I think the Senate passed something where they can't do that.
That's cool.
If that contract runs up, just like Dean Ambrose did, there's no limit. You can go whenever you want.
Next week.
So she could be a Raw on Monday, AEW on Wednesday.
What's the last man standing right now, or woman, that we got to talk about?
It's the last man, but I'm going to say, even though I want Becky Lynch to go to AEW because I like the chaos, I think she's staying to WWE.
Okay.
The last one standing, we just found out Ricochet's contract comes up at the end of the summer. And we also spoke about this in another video. In fact, we're going to put those videos up at the end here on the cards. Ricochet, his contract comes up at the end of the summer.
Yep.
And Will Ospreay has been saying, Ricochet, listen, bro, you got to get up out of there. Now, those two are friends. Do you think there's a possibility they're talking And Ricochet's like, man, listen, I'm not happy with this and that. And Will Ospreay's going in this interview like, listen, you got to get up out of there. So he may have known, being that this is so close to the end of Ricochet's contract, Will Ospreay probably knew something. And
Yeah.
now he's like kind of pull him over to AEW. Do you think that's a possibility? And do you think there is a possibility Ricochet lands on the black and yellow brand?
Black and yellow. Man, they're definitely talking. It's not even a possibility. It's a certainty that all the wrestlers, they talk, especially Ricochet and Will Ospreay after the crazy match back in the day. Was it 2017, 16, something like that? Got everybody going crazy, man, whether you liked it or not. They probably became fast friends, and they're definitely talking. But it's really tough to imagine what Ricochet is going to do, because slowly but surely, ever since Triple H came back into power with the booking, I see Ricochet slowly climbing that ladder. Will he ever be a world champion if he stays in the WWE? It's tough to say. Maybe he'll get that World Heavyweight Championship, Rey Mysterio style, keep it for a short while, and then lose it. But if he goes to AEW, I mean, like, the way you can work in the ring matters a hell of a lot more, and he's got like so many guaranteed dream matches. Again, Ospreay and Ricochet is one. If Kenny Omega is still able to wrestle, I'm sure they would like to do one match with him too, and just the possibilities go endless. And does he want to do it though? Because Ricochet is not young anymore as he used to be. You can still obviously perform at a very high level, but does he need to? Does he want to? With WWE, he has a nice life. He's got a Samantha right there. So if he goes to AEW, Samantha's probably going to stay in the WWE with everything happening to her in that company. I think she's going to be there for the long haul. So you're almost guaranteeing you're going to be separated from your, I guess, their boyfriend and girlfriend right now. Nothing serious, but hey, man, I think that's a big factor.
Oh, no, I think he's a fiance. He proposed to her.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But I was just looking up Ricochet's age, y'all. I wasn't being unprofessional. Ricochet is 35, so you're right.
35.
I think he's still pretty much in his prime. He's prime age now. Is he the age where he's still going to be doing 4 backflips in a row? I don't think so, but
he'll do 3.
I think if he's going to get that ball rolling, again, MJF phrase, bet on yourself. Go to AEW 2 or 3 years. Show that you got those promos. Show that you got that fire. Like you said, kiddo, right now in the position he's in, I don't see him being a WWE champion. But if he goes out there and he builds himself up like a Cody Rhodes, like a Drew McIntyre, like a Jinder Mahal, I think he can come back and do it. So I'm going to say Ricochet to AEW. I'm going to say Samantha Irvin's contract comes up.
To AEW. Damn. Ricochet is 35, man. If he wants to go, he got to go right now. Like, otherwise, it's going to be tough for him. His body's going to break down way faster. It's just, you get old, man, and stuff happens, as we saw with Adam Copeland. So,
he just made a dumb decision. Bro jumped off the top of the cage and landed on his feet. I feel
like he was like, oh, crap, this is so high. And he was like, I'm going to go for it anyway. And then what happened. But
kiddo,
I'm going to say Ricochet stays at WWE, by the way, real quick. But yeah, of these 4 names.
Of these 4 names, which one you think is the most likely to make the jump?
So we got Chad Gable, Ricochet, Becky Lynch, and then Natalya. I'm actually going to go with Natalya.
You're going to go with Natalya?
Mm-hmm. Because
I'm going to go with Ricochet. Y'all let us know in the comment section who you think should jump. And even if you think they shouldn't jump, who's the most likely to jump?
Don't do it. You're too young.